A deadly gunfight in 1892 ended with the killings of 4 members of the notorious Dalton gang and 4 citizens who tried to stop them from robbing 2 banks at once in Coffeyville, Kansas. Emmett Dalton, shown in the upper left-hand corner of this photo from the Kansas State Historical Society, was the only member of the gang who survived. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online, talking about how Emmett Dalton later lived in Topeka for nearly 4 months while on parole from prison in 1907. Emmett had joined his older brothers, Bob and Grat, in committing the robberies at Coffeyville on October 5, 1892. Emmett had a chance to escape, but chose to try to help the mortally wounded Bob onto a horse and survived after suffering 23 gunshot wounds. He subsequently went to prison. In 1907, Kansas Governor Edward Hoke allowed Emmett, who'd been a model prisoner, to be released on conditional parole for 4 months to undergo surgery in Topeka for a wound to his right arm suffered during the Coffeyville shootout. This drawing was published in the Topeka State Journal to accompany an article that told how Emmett was met by newspapermen when he arrived by train in Topeka on July 6, 1907. The article said Emmett made a positive impression on those journalists. Emmett underwent surgery at a Topeka hospital soon afterward. Before being anesthetized, he said, "Goodbye, boys. If I don't see you again in this world, I will in the next." Emmett's elderly mother arrived to join him later that week. This article in the State Journal told of how he looked forward to seeing her. It also described the feeling of freedom he'd experienced that month while riding in a car owned by the doctor who was treating him. In August of 1907, Emmett got a job as night clerk at the well-known Copeland Hotel at 900 South Kansas Avenue, which was frequented by many Kansas politicians. This photo, provided by the Historical Society, shows the ruins of that hotel after it was destroyed by fire in January 1909. By that time, Emmett had left Topeka. That was because Governor Hoke pardoned Emmett in early November 1907 as they met in the governor's office. Both men became emotional during the meeting, according to this article in the Topeka Daily Capital. Emmett subsequently stayed out of trouble with the law. He moved to Oklahoma and got married in 1908. Emmett then moved to California, where he dabbled in acting, wrote 2 books, and worked in real estate, before dying in 1937 at the age of 66. This is Tim Rencher, the history guy for CJ Online.